Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultan of Oman television. First, the headlines. Sultan's Armed Forces concludes its participation in the Al Jazeera Shield 10 joint drill in Saudi Arabia. The flow of aircraft through the Sultanate's airspace increases by more than 30% in the past 2 weeks. An international conference in Muscat discusses hydrocephalus Oman updates 2019. And the head of the European Parliament says it is crucial to prevent Britain crashing out of the European Union in a disorderly way without a deal. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in detail. Sultan's Armed Forces concluded this morning its participation in Al Jazeera Shield 10 joint drill in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The conclusion events were attended by Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, and a number of senior officers and commanders at Sultan's Armed Forces and other GCC countries. The drill was aimed to support cooperation and relations between the GCC countries and enhance aspects of joint coordination and cooperation. The drill contributed in highlighting abilities and achievements of joint military work. The participating forces implemented the activities of the joint exercise by main stages and concluded it with a practical exercise. The Omani airspace has witnessed an increase in airplane flow by more than 30%, with around 1,850 aircrafts. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation affirmed that the intensified air movement of airplanes goes smoothly as per the highest safety standards. It added that the used systems at Muscat Air Monitoring Centre work with high efficiency. The Sultanate is opening its airspace to connect to the east and the west. The traffic movement has increased from 1,600 airplanes to more than 1,850, as the northern sector route only has increased 180% by 290 to around 450 airplanes.
When we first received the closure of the Karachi airspace, we had to take measures by bringing the contingency team together and analyzing the situation that we were in. As you know, the Oman airspace connects the northeast to southeast all the way to the northwest and southwest. So we needed to continue the flow of traffic without compromising any delays for any aircrafts or even putting a load on our controllers here to manage the traffic. So by us attending to it all together, we managed to open certain airways that would allow traffic to leave the east to the west without any delay and with safety, of course, and pure efficiency. And after sitting down and gathering all the information together, we put it to place by further adding flow measures from certain adjacent units that allowed us and helped us in applying and regulating traffic for the regulations or for the flow. So basically now we used to have 1,600 flights. We increased to 1,800 flights plus within this few days. But at least now it's regulated because we've managed it quite well. As you see, a full team is working together very hard day after and day night. And hopefully we will continue managing it as long as it takes.
Hydrocephalus Oman Updates 2019 is being held under the auspice of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Taleb Al Hanai, the Under-Secretary of Planning at the Ministry of Health. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rabai.
Oman Update 2019, organized by the Department of Neurosurgery at Khola Hospital, attended by specialists in this field from a number of healthcare services in the country that include a diverse group of neurologists, neurosurgeons, neuroradiologists, fetal medicine, nurses, and other healthcare staff, gathered with experts from Oman and abroad to recapitulate the general understanding of hydrocephalus and to discuss modern therapeutic approaches. One main focus will be on telemetric intracranial pressure monitoring. The long-term application of this technique provides unprecedented insights into the illness and to support important medical decisions.
Our annual conferences that we conduct as a Department of Neurosurgery in Khola Hospital. Annually, we conduct national and international conferences that are looking in general about the neurosurgical diseases and their latest updates. However, this year we have focused on the hydrocephalus as in depth, and we have invited one of few of the elite international speakers.
Hydrocephalus is a progressive condition imposing sooner or later severe restrictions on the patient's everyday life. The recent innovative developments in the field of neuroendoscopy, cerebral shunting and intracranial pressure monitoring represent major steps towards achieving the best possible patient care.
Our profession requires us to update our knowledge every now and then, so every second counts. Such clinical updates which was held here have given me the opportunity to meet with the experts and which will allow me to provide quality health care.
His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Talab Al Hinay and the Secretary of Planning Affairs felicitated Dr. Santosh Lad, Senior Consultant Neurosurgeon, in recognition of his outstanding work for establishing neurosurgical department at Khola Hospital from 1986. His Excellency also felicitated Professor Keki Turel from Bombay Hospital Institute of Medical Sciences, Mumbai, India, who has been visiting as neurosurgeon to Oman from early 1980s. Dr. Lad came to Oman through Professor Keki Turel and Dr. Wahid Al-Kharousi, head of orthopedic services in Oman then. Since then, a number of Omani doctors were sent abroad for training in neurosurgery, some of whom have returned and are leading in the specialty, thanks to the Minister of Health vision and the wise leadership of His Majesty's government. It's worth mentioning that Khola Hospital was established in 1974. It was the first surgical hospital in the Sultanate of Oman. Since then, many departments and medical specialties were added. The hospital was chosen as an educational center recognized by the Royal Society of Orthopedics, Neurosurgery and Plastic Surgery. The hospital also focused on academic health education and research health programs and fellowship programs for different specializations. The national and international faculty present here will enrich the knowledge and skills of the participants that will enable them to take neurosurgical care of hydrocephalus patients to much higher levels. From Crown Plaza Hotel in Muscat, I'm Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
The Sultanate won the Best Arab Tourism Destination Award. The award was given as a result of a survey of experts of travel and tourism industry in Germany, conducted by GoAsia for the year 2019. The survey concluded that the Sultanate is the best touristic destination and highly preferred by travel and tourism agencies and relevant organizations and institutions. It covered a sample of 3,000 German tourism officials of various levels who voted for the Sultanate as their most preferred tourism destination in the entire Arab region. The Director General of Promotion at the Ministry of Tourism in the Sultanate said the Sultanate won this award for the third time as the best Arab touristic destination. The head of the European Parliament said it is crucial to prevent Britain crashing out of the European Union in a disorderly way without a deal. In an interview with a group of newspapers, Antonio Tajani said the date of Brexit can be delayed past March 29, but only by a few weeks at most. British lawmakers are due to vote on Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit plan for a second time on Tuesday. May has said that if her plan is defeated, lawmakers will be able to vote on Wednesday and Thursday on whether they want to leave the bloc without a deal or ask for a short delay to Brexit. Tajani said disorderly no-deal Brexit would be a disaster for the British economy and would also hurt the EU, adding that he would be happy if Britain were to remain in the bloc. Tajani said the political declaration on Brexit could perhaps be slightly more clearly formulated, but he ruled out changing the withdrawal agreement, especially on the Northern Ireland issue. China's Vice Minister for Commerce said today that Beijing is hopeful about its next round of trade talks with the U.S. after revealing that top negotiators had tried to hammer out a deal over burgers and eggplant chicken. China and the United States have been locked in a bruising trade war since last year, imposing tit-for-tat tariffs on more than $360 billion in two-way trade, which has left the global markets reeling. Top-level negotiators have met 3 times in an attempt to reach an agreement before next week, when additional tariffs could be levied on Chinese goods entering the U.S. as the truce period expires. Residents started the cleanup today after bushfires burning across the Australian state of Victoria have destroyed more than 30 houses and burnt nearly 70 other buildings. No deaths or injuries have been reported in the fires. A record-breaking heat wave delivered the hottest start to March on record for the southern third of Australia, a country prone to deadly bushfires as a result of remote terrain, high summer temperatures and flammable eucalyptus bush. The Insurance Council of Australia declared late yesterday the Bunyip State Park fire, Victoria's highest risk blaze burning east of Melbourne, a catastrophe which gives policyholders priority by insurers. Still to come in our news bulletin. The annual boat race showcases marine heritage and singing traditional arts in the Wilaya of Sur.
Why is competition good for businesses? Businesses compete in things like price, quality and service to win new customers who could be other businesses as well as consumers. Being competitive can mean more customers choose you rather than your rivals. But when businesses collude and don't compete, this can lower down the quality and service and the consumers paying more than they should. This is an unlawful practice and can stop consumers from getting more options on goods and services with better quality and better prices. That's why the Competition Protection and Monopoly Prevention Law was issued to regulate the freedom of practicing any economic activities and stabilize the principles of the market rules and freedom of pricing in such manner that the same shall not restrict competition, prevent the same or be negatively affected, thereby to benefit consumers, businesses and the national economy. Breaching any of the law's clauses could lead to prison sentences and fines up to 100,000 Omani Riyals. The punishment can also include paying 10% of the total annual sales of the products subject of the violation, as well as damage to the business's reputation. Help us in preventing anti-competitive activities by contacting the following numbers. And to know more about the law and the prohibited activities, please visit our website www.cmc.om. Competition Protection and Monopoly Prevention Center.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The average price of a barrel of Omani crude oil rose by 9% at the end of January 2019 to $66.3 per barrel, compared to $60.8 per barrel by the end of January 2018. According to statistics from the National Centre for Statistics and Information, it showed that the Sultanate's total exports of crude oil and condensates by the end of January 2019 amounted to more than 23 million barrels, a drop by 7% compared to the end of January 2018, which amounted to more than 25 million barrels. The Sultanate's production of crude oil and condensates at the end of last January amounted to 30 million barrels, of which about 26.5 million barrels of crude oil and more than 3 million barrels of oil condensates. The average daily production of oil amounted to 970,300 barrels, with a daily rate of 0.3%. Aiming at shedding light on the touristic and archaeological landmarks of Al Sahila area in the Wilaya of Sohar, a walkathon was organised. The event also sought to encourage all segments of the society to practice sports and do exercises. More than 300 participants from various wilayas of the Sultanate took part in the event. They passed through many natural sites in the area. The 18-kilometre-long activity was part of Buremi Travellers' social initiative, which aims to highlight the touristic potentials of the Sultanate through such events. The annual boat race competition was inaugurated in the Wilaya of Sur in the Governorate of South Sharqiya, with the participation of 6 teams under the auspice of His Highness Syed Numair bin Taimur Al Sayed. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al Sarai.
With marine traditional Omani arts, Wilaya of Sur has witnessed the annual boat race competition with exciting and competitive atmosphere.
Really, I can't really explain how much we felt so happy after we get the first place, but myself and the team, we've prepared really very well, like for a month training so hard and mentally and physically. So we are so prepared. We expected to win, and we got the first place.
The 7-kilometer-long race was very competitive for the 6 participating teams, where paragliding shows have been added to the competition this year as a new and exciting touch. The competition, which was organized in Khor al-Bat, has witnessed a huge attendance from various regions.
We were very lucky because we saw the starting point and also the finishing line. So we followed the race boat all along the coast. It was an incredible. We were very lucky to be able to see that because it only happens once a year, I think.
Marine racing sports in the Sultanate are considered as a good opportunity to create and prepare national teams in order to participate in international competitions. Sultan bin Saif al-Sarai from Wilaya of Sur, South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate.
Under the theme We Protect Our Beautiful Oman, BIA Company launched a campaign in various governorates of the Sultanate. It aims to raise awareness among all members of the society about the importance of keeping clean all touristic sites. The campaign reached the Wilaya of Sohar in the governorate of North Batna after Musandam, Baremi and Muscat governorates. The event included various awareness activities and cleanup campaigns. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low cloud and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be southeasterly light to south moderate, and seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultan of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Sultan's Armed Forces concluded its participation in the Al Jazeera Shield 10 joint drill in Saudi Arabia. The flow of aircraft through the Sultanate's airspace increases by more than 30% in the past 2 weeks. An international conference in Muscat discusses hydrocephala use. Oman updates 2019. And the head of the European Parliament says it is crucial to prevent Britain crashing out of the European Union in a disorderly way without a deal. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsrooms and the studio, it's good night.